Hi, my name is Thomas. Welcome to Cheeky Kokako for another miniatures video. In this episode, I'm looking at the mini which I use for one of the elementals, the Gargoyle. The stats for the Gargoyle can be found in the monster manual on page 140. For my Gargoyle miniature, I use one that I got from one of the Dungeons & Dragons board games which Wizards of the Coast sells, Castle Ravenloft. This is an unpainted mini and has a medium-sized base, just the size it's meant to be. I also got my skeleton mini from this board game, along with many others, and as I mentioned in my skeleton video, these board games are a great source of inexpensive minis for your Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game, even if you don't ever play the board game. If you play the board game, then it's an even bigger win. The sculpt is nice, and is done in a way that makes it really easy to paint it to make it look like stone. I appreciate that, since I'm lazy, and the more help I can get with cutting the amount of time that it takes to prepare a mini, the happier I am. Given that it's from a board game, and it's probably not assumed that most people playing the board game will paint the minis, I'm especially impressed. Gargoyles are one of those creatures which seem to be beloved by the staff at Wizards of the Coast. They're another of the creatures that entered the world of Dungeons & Dragons back in the early days. Gargoyles are one of the more commonly found creatures in D&D publications, so it's always a good call to have Gargoyle miniature on hand. They are CR2 chaotic evil creatures, which sets them up to be a good foe for low to mid-level parties. Their resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from most non-magical weapons, as well as their immunity to poison, makes a single gargoyle a challenge for lower-level parties, while groups of them hiding among the carved gargoyles decorating castles and cathedrals will give higher-level parties a rough time. Speaking of which, the official name for a group of gargoyles is a nastiness, according to D&D. Despite being made of stone, gargoyles are able to fly, making them an even larger challenge. They also have a burning hatred for Aarakocra, and vice versa, so if you have an Aarakocra in your group, it is going to be targeted by all the gargoyles present prior to any of the other team members. As usual, for scale, Inchimic 25mm in the Stork is 1 inch tall from the bottom of its base, while the Summer Eladrin mini gives an idea of the scale of the gargoyle miniature next to an average human-sized mini. If you're looking for links to any of the minis in this video, you'll find them in the description. So that pretty much covers this miniature. I hope you found this video useful while working on your Dungeons & Dragons miniature collection. If you have miniatures that you use and like for gargoyles in your game, let us know what they are in the comments. If you bought a miniature and it didn't work for some reason, then please do tell us which minis they are and why they were a problem so others don't buy them. I'll catch you next time when I show you another miniature from my collection. Till then, this is Thomas for Cheeky Kokako.